I want to express that gratitude because it's an expression of my soul, and my soul wants to express gratitude because it's good for me. So when people, oh no, they say you don't need to say thank you. There's no need for that. They don't see that you do it for you because it's good for you. It's not only for the other person. It's good for you to express that appreciation that your soul is feeling at that moment in time, and that gratitude, that appreciation that you're feeling and that you're expressing is actually going to open more doors for more good things to come to you because you feel that gratitude and you express it.
Stay connected to gratitude. Hit the follow button right now and join thousands of listeners tuning in each week. We're the Gratitude Seekers. Come join us. Hi, Gratitude Seeker. Welcome to a new episode of the Gratitude Podcast. Today with us we have a visionary of our world in harmony, a dreamer of our world at peace, an advocate for conscious leadership and authentic business, a catalyst for spiritual transformation, and a human in service to love. For more than 25 years, she has been working in the corporate world for the big blue chip companies, IT companies in the areas of customer service, team leadership, IT training, project management, change management, and coaching. She has been doing some amazing things. She just released a very interesting course that she will also talk about. And I'm very happy to have her here with us. Welcome, Gema Ramirez, to the Gratitude Podcast.
Thank you so much. It is a real honor to be here sharing with authentic, heart-centered people. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, my pleasure. So let us know a little bit more about you. I've just touched on some things, but I know that you've done some amazing things throughout the years, and you're working on something really interesting now as well.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Well, my name is Gema. I run the School of Consciousness, where I do what people have been coming to me for. I heal the soul. I help them to find peace, help them to return to flow, and basically clearing the blocks that keep people away from living a heart-centered and conscious, peaceful life in all aspects of their lives. So it's like a business, a personal life. And I've been following the authentic marketing and sales techniques from George Cao, which is a common mentor that we have. So I apply those to everything I do and to my conscious leadership, which is a key aspect of what I do. In fact, is the core of my vision. I envision a world where everyone is a conscious leader. And when the vision came to me, because obviously it's not mine, when you have a vision, it's not yours, it comes to you. You are just a vessel for it. I thought, okay, so everyone is going to be a conscious leader. I'm not going to achieve that in this lifetime. That's okay. Hopefully other people will come after me and continue. And I know there are many people working on conscious leadership as well. But then the pandemic came with the coronavirus and all that. And I saw very clearly in March this year, 2020, that the world was leading to that the solution to the problem where we're getting into was to raise our consciousness, heal our soul, find the peace within, and become conscious leaders. And it's happening. I'm amazed over the months of this year how I've seen more and more people waking up to the true selves, going within, wanting to heal, wanting to know more, and becoming leaders of their lives, more responsible for their lives instead of falling into victimhood. And it's just the beginning. I think we're going to see most people becoming conscious leaders in the very near future. And to me, that is no more than becoming heart-centered, so leading your life from your heart, taking personal responsibility for your own happiness, and really truly wanting to live a life in service to others and to the planet, wanting to do things that are good for others, for humanity and for the planet. Those are the basics of conscious leadership to me. And
you actually anticipated my question. I wanted to ask you, what
okay.
is conscious leadership? So yeah, please continue.
Thank you. Why did I start it with conscious leadership? I think it was the culmination of a life dedicated to personal development that led to spiritual awakening, and then eventually I realized that the only solution to create a new world, which is exactly what we're trying to do right now as a community, the whole humanity, is to become conscious, and become leaders. And many people ask me, oh, but what do you mean leaders? Because the concept of leader is still very much associated to the corporate world or to work. And it's not like that. We can be leaders in all aspects of our lives. It's just leading our lives instead of following someone else or following an ideal or following the programming and the indoctrination that we've had since we were born. So just taking the bull by the horns, like we say here in Spain, where I am, and lead your life, decide who you want to be. And by deciding who you want to be, you do changes within you, and changes in your life appear. And that's really taking responsibility for who you are. And that undoubtedly leads to more self-love, consequently more love for others, and ultimately to the realization that we are all one and interconnected. So it's just a tool, conscious leadership, to get into the core of who we are, love and interconnected with everything and the one.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I think it's something very important indeed, that we need to become aware and become aware of our role as humans and how much we actually influence each other, and that even if we see it or we don't, we are influencing other people and we have leadership roles. And it's much better if we are conscious and we make a conscious decision of how we want to influence others and how we want to be the change that we want to see in the world. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. Yes.
But I also wanted to ask you on the personal side. I think you have a really interesting story. You studied in Spain and in Britain, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I was born in Spain, and I think many people probably who listens to this will feel identified with what I'm about to say. I was born in Spain, but I never really felt I was born in the right place. I always felt out of place, didn't really fit in anywhere. And when I was 24, I decided to migrate to the UK. For some reason, always attracted me the idea of living there. And as soon as I got there, it was just literally coming out of the plane, putting my foot on the ground and smelling the air. I knew I had arrived home. I don't know why, but I just knew. And I went there for a month or so just to visit, and I stayed for 2 years without coming back. And then and then I lived there for over 25 years in the end. So my corporate life, my professional life developed there. I had many opportunities, met wonderful people who supported me along the way, and my spiritual life also was developed there. I came into contact with beautiful people as well, and I never thought of the magical things that would happen to me. And I think that what happened to me is what happens to many people on the spiritual path as well, that I had two different lives. I have my spiritual life with my spiritual friends and my spiritual activities, and then my professional life, my home life on another side. And they were going different ways, and it was really stressful. I didn't want both of them to clash, because I felt a bit embarrassed of the things I was doing on my spiritual side, and that I feel it happens to many people as well. Until one day you realize that you cannot continue that way. It's really stressful and it's not authentic. So I merge the two. Obviously, when that happens, many things change. Some people disappear from your life, jobs go, and you have to sell a few things because you don't resonate with them anymore, and your life changes. And I think from them it was the moment where I really took or started to take responsibility for what I wanted to do, and realizing that, okay, so this is leading somewhere. I'm gonna find my life purpose now that this is happening. So that was really interesting, and that happened. I was in the UK, very happy, but I always knew I would return to Spain when my mum was old enough that she needed me. So I came back. We had a couple of years of having a good time, and then obviously she was too ill. Ill and old. And my biggest project so far, to call it somehow, a life project, and the thing that have helped me really go within myself and know myself, has been the last 2 years of looking after my mom until she passed this October. It's been intense, it's been difficult, it's been stressful at times, but now looking back, it's just been the most beautiful and fulfilling thing I've created in my whole life, and it's given me a huge sense of peace and accomplishment, bigger than anything that I've ever done before. So I'm really grateful for that. Talking about gratefulness, I'm really, really grateful for the opportunity to be looking after my mom that not many people have. Grateful to me for choosing that, for surviving it, because it was really hard. At some point I wasn't sure I was going to make it. It's really, really hard being a carer for someone. I didn't know how hard it was. So my truly appreciation for anyone who's listening who cares as a professional or is actually caring of anyone. It's really beautiful and really hard. So that's it's been beautiful. So now I'm in a position that I'm going back to work, because I have to kind of stop for a few months, and coming back with renovated enthusiasm, and as a much more humble and grateful person than I even was before. So
that's beautiful.
Really
I also ask you this question because I'm curious if you've seen some interesting things about gratitude that were either in the Spanish culture or in the British culture that you've seen, like maybe differences or some things that you've resonated with.
Yeah, that's a really interesting question, because living in the UK, you become aware very quickly that people say thank you all the time. I wasn't used to that at all when I moved in. In fact, in Spain, when I moved in there 25 years ago now, we weren't used to say thank you as a culture in Spain. And it shocked me a lot that, wow, people say thank you all the time. And sometimes it was just a habit. I realized that it was just some sort of polite thing to do, to say thank you. Sometimes they didn't have meaning, but it didn't matter. It made a difference, even if it didn't have meaning, or if people were saying it without really thinking about what they were saying. It made a difference to me. I realized that it was lovely to be said thank you, even if for anything special.
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing it when I came to Spain on holiday or to visit my family. I started saying thank you, and then I realized that people in Spain felt a bit embarrassed to be when they hear thank you. Oh no, you don't need to be thankful. You don't need to say thank you. But I want to. Oh no, but you don't need to. So it was a really huge gap in culture there, and things have changed a lot because many people have gone to the UK since I moved there, and many people have probably experienced the same thing, and we are more grateful now, or rather more verbally expressive of gratitude. We do say thank you more than before, but there are still occasions where people still feel embarrassed to hear thank you. Like there is no need to say thank you. I'm doing it because I want to. You don't need to thank me. That's still the case, and I wonder if it's because they don't feel enough love for themselves to take that appreciation from someone else.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's the case.
I was thinking about the same thing. I was wondering why. Maybe they have a hard time to receive gratitude from other people.
Yeah. And really, I analyzed it, and when people have difficulty receiving, even if it's just the gratitude from someone else or the appreciation, obviously there is a lack there, that lack of self-love probably, that is not ready to accept this appreciation, but it's also they're not giving you the opportunity to express your gratitude fully. I don't know if they realize that you really want to say, oh, thank you, you here listening to me, thank you, or you opened the door for me, thank you, you took the effort, I'm really thankful. I want to express that gratitude because it's an expression of my soul, and my soul wants to express gratitude because it's good for me. So when people, oh no, they say you don't need to say thank you, there's no need for that. They don't see that you do it for you because it's good for you. It's not only for the other person, it's good for you to express that appreciation that your soul is feeling at that moment in time, and that gratitude, that appreciation that you're feeling and that you're expressing is actually going to open more doors for more good things to come to you because you feel that gratitude and you express it out. So I would love people to be aware that expressing gratitude, when you hear thank you, the person is doing it for themselves, not only for you to hear it. They're doing it for themselves. So we have to allow the other person to say thank you to us because they're doing it for themselves. So
yeah,
I don't know.
exactly. And I love the word in Spanish, gracias. It's it's very similar to grace, right? So you're in my point of view, you realize in that moment that what another person did was graceful, like with grace, and that there is something outside of you that did something for you that in one way or another can be interpreted as a grace from God, from the Creator, because in my belief, God manifests himself through people and through their actions and through their love.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful way of connecting with that understanding, the fact that you are interacting with other people who are manifesting the Creator, and we are appreciating that, and we are seeing that grace that we have in our life through them.
That's such a beautiful way of putting it, and I love the way you compare the words grace to gracias. It's just so similar.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you for that.
Yeah, sure. I think it's very beautiful to see how people, like, what word do people use to express gratitude. And I think before there were words, I think there was the feeling, and people thought, okay, how can I express what I'm feeling right now? Like, what word can I put so that I can express it properly? And That's why I believe in the root of these words. There is a lot of wisdom, and there is a lot of beauty, and yeah, I think it's something that it's worth exploring. And I always love to ask people from different parts of the world how you say thank you, and look into that more, like what they're actually saying, with those words or with that word.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I love it. I like looking into the origin of words as well. They do say a lot about the word, and in Spanish, because we come from Latin, it's really easy to see the analogy on with the Latin words. It's beautiful. But like you said, the feeling comes before, and even if we didn't say the word, just with the feeling, with the sensation that you get from the other person, you can feel the gratitude, you can feel the appreciation in the eyes of another, or if you focus on the heart energy. So words is just an expression of the feeling that you were talking about. Absolutely.
Exactly, and it's beautiful that in different cultures we have that, we have similar things. Like in Italian, it's grazie, which is as well very similar to grace. So I don't think it's a coincidence. It's definitely something that had a common root,
Yeah.
and it's really beautiful to look into that. But I also wanted to get into all of the things that are happening right now in the US, since our audience is mainly from the US, in the world in general, with the pandemic. I know that you're working on a course right now on peace. How can we be peaceful when the world seems to be
Oh,
going crazy?
I know, I know. I thought it was so needed, and when I decided to come back to work um, after Mum's fasting, I thought, what am I going to do? What else can I do? What do people need? Is inner peace. We need peace. We need to focus on peace. How can we be at peace when the world is in chaos? Well, that's exactly when we need to be more at peace, when the world around us is in chaos. And a mentor of mine told me that environment is stronger than will. And when we are in an environment like now, where we are only hearing bad news, strange news, the future is really uncertain. Well, it's always uncertain, but it's more uncertain than ever. How can we be at peace? Well, maybe the solution is, number one, change the environment. Maybe we cannot do that. But maybe number two is wonder, how can we be stronger than the environment? How can the environment or the will can be stronger than the environment? And the answer I found for that is to embody love. When we embody love and unconditional love, and we become peaceful and joyful inside, regardless of whatever is going outside, then we are stronger than the environment. And it's always a matter of being aware of our state, having the capacity of choosing different. So if something is causing us stress, like watching too many news, well, we can always turn the TV off and choose something different that make us more peaceful. The problem is not going to go away. It's going to be there next time we turn the TV on. So why keep focusing on that? Why keep worrying about things we don't know? We don't know what's going to happen. So the solution is focusing on love, focusing on peace, and just do it for the sake of us, for the sake of our mental health and physical health. So choosing peace. And that's what I offer with the course, is the definition of what peace is. And I offer a few tools that people can use if they choose to choose peace and become peaceful inside, so that they can have a better life, especially during the chaos that we live in at the moment, the uncertainty, and all the things that we are watching outside. It's time to go within, because the outside is just too chaotic. We cannot do much about it. It's time to go within and choose love, choose joy, and choose inner peace, because that's the true essence of who we are. That's what we are. So it's just returning to who we are really, and we find that within ourselves. So those tools that I offer within the course, those bits of knowledge and wisdom, will help them cultivate peace from within, and understanding that if we want peace in the world, I don't know if I can make the world peaceful, but I can do my world peaceful. And if my world is peaceful, starting with me, then maybe the people around me can become a bit more peaceful, and that's how it ripples out. So everything is about ourselves. Everything outside is a reflection of our inner world. So we have to understand that and go within and find the inner peace that we're looking for, because we're only going to find the inside. So that's what the course is about, and that's how I believe we find inner peace. It's just the choice to actually find the inner peace within, with some little help, with the tools and the wisdom from me or from many other people who offer other things as well to support in these times.
Definitely, and in these times, it's so important for us to have more peaceful people, to become a peaceful person, because like we've talked in the beginning, we are influencing others, and if we are in the chaos and we identify with the chaos that we oftentimes see on the news, for instance, we tend to give that to others, and unfortunately we tend to give that to the people we love, and that only leads to more chaos, as does peace. It leads to more peace, and even though other people around us might be worried, might be in fear, the fact that they see that we are and that we can be in peace, at peace, that helps them relax as well and be at peace as well. And I think that's something very important that we can do to actually change our world, like you said, to do our bit and to make sure that we are the kind of people that we want to see in the world. And being at peace is a very important part, and it also relates very well to the decisions that we make in this period. Like, I know for sure that, for instance, in the beginning of the pandemic, I took some irrational decisions, like, for instance, buying too much food or actually eating too much food. Like, I don't usually overeat or anything, but back then there were a couple of days when I did that, and it was so interesting for me to see myself doing that, and also to how it was afterwards when I got back to peace, and I understood that it was okay. But for a few days, I was identified with that chaos, and I was very nervous, and it just led to some really weird decisions on my side. And I definitely think it's very important for us to be at peace as much as possible, especially when we make decisions and when we create our future. Because once we are at peace, we can be creative in a whole different way. And I know you talk about that as well in your course.
Yes. And the way you managed it is, to me, is the right way. It's the same thing I did, because I think we all fall for the chaos at some point. It was designed to do that. It was very well designed to do that to take us all out of our peace. And when you found yourself overeating or buying too much food, you said you observe yourself doing that. That's exactly what we have to do, is watch ourselves. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, well, this is obviously something I need to do now for some reason. But there is a part of you that is observing that. You're not really falling for it fully. You're somehow still conscious and realizing that you are doing something that is not what you normally do, that you are being affected by the great change that is going outside of you. So you were conscious, and after a few days you were able to return back to your peace. And that's exactly what we need to do, is being aware of who we are. So it's important to know yourself really well and know when something is out of alignment of you, and then observe it. And then it comes the gratitude for this. Thank you for this experience that I'm experiencing, that is teaching me something. What is it? What is the teaching? I'm going to get the teaching and move on. And then forgiveness comes. Forgiveness comes for yourself, because you are doing something totally different, whether you're getting angry or eating too much, whatever it is. Forgiveness for yourself, and forgiveness for whatever is causing that outside of you as well. And with that, peace then returns. So gratitude and gratitude and forgiveness are key elements in finding inner peace. In fact, one of the tools that I would like to mention that I share in the course is called the Gema tool. It's my name, and the G is for gratitude. The E is for equanimity, so being an observant with detachment, without being sworn by what's happening. M is for mindfulness, so that's exactly what you did. I'm mindful of what I'm doing. Okay, I'm falling for it, but I know what I'm doing. I'm not doing it unconsciously. And then acceptance. This is what's happening. What can I do now? I get the teaching, I get the learning, do my forgiveness, and move on and return to my peace. So I think it's a very powerful tool to return back to peace.
Beautiful. I love this idea, and I think it's the perfect way to end this interview. Thank you so much for listening, and Gemma, thank you for being such a great guest and for sharing so much wisdom and so much love with us.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me. I thank you to everyone who's listening, and blessings to all.